for the statement just made. I now give the floor to the distinguished representative of Pakistan to introduce a statement by the Minister.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have the honor to introduce a pre-recorded statement by His Excellency Makhdoom Shah Mahmood Qureshi, the Foreign Minister of Pakistan, on the occasion of the 75th anniversary of the United Nations.
Mr. President, Excellencies, delegates, greetings from Pakistan. I'm grateful to this august assembly for the opportunity to share my thoughts on the UN at 75. The UN's Diamond Jubilee is indeed a landmark occasion, an occasion to celebrate the wonderful association, the eventful journey, and the exciting prospects, an occasion to harken back to the UN's foundational principles, and an occasion to soberly introspect. The UN was hope born of the ashes of unmitigated suffering of war and misplaced notions of superiority of some over the others. It addressed an historic need, the need to save succeeding generations from the scourge of war, to reaffirm equal and fundamental rights of men and women and nations large and small, and to promote better life in larger freedoms. Our UN has come a long way. It has helped prevent the kind of destruction visited upon humanity twice within a generation. It has advanced arms control, facilitated decolonization, assisted in tackling climate change and addressing threats to the environment, aided in establishing of freer, more equal and rules-based world, and worked to end hunger, disease, poverty through the Sustainable Development Goals. But the euphoria must not unsight us of its failings and deficiencies. The whole is not bigger than the sum of its parts. The organization is only as good as its member states wish it to be. The Jammu and Kashmir and Palestine disputes are the organization's most glaring and long-standing disputes. The people of occupied Jammu and Kashmir still await fulfillment of the commitment made to them by the United Nations to grant them their right to self-determination. Today, the UN is derided as a talk shop. Its resolutions and decisions are flouted. International cooperation, especially in the Security Council, is at its lowest. Force is threatened with abandon. Critical treaties and covenants designed to promote development and protect the globe's fragile environment are discarded. The very forces that led to the Second World War, racism and fascism, are taking the shape of rising xenophobia and Islamophobia. While we have seen enormous international cooperation to combat COVID-19, it has failed to unify humanity as it could have. I perhaps am not alone in having a foreboding sense of déjà vu, but Pakistan, Excellencies, has been and remains an ardent believer in multilateralism and the indispensability of the United Nations. Pakistan has been on the Security Council 7 times, headed ECOSOC 5 times, and led the UN General Assembly and the G77. We are active participants in reform processes, including the reform of the Security Council. Both as a member state and our nationals have contributed to advancing the UN's goals and objectives in the best and most honorable tradition of service to humanity. Pakistan has contributed over 200,000 troops to 47 missions in 26 countries, losing 157 of our bravest in the process. We have hosted the largest protracted refugee population, where other countries subscribing to fascist ideologies flout UN principles and claim privileged status at the high table only by virtue of size, strength, and misplaced sense of entitlement. Pakistan continues to bear, without complaint, more than its fair share of burden. It is my firm conviction that for the UN, its values and its architecture, there is no alternative. We, the people of the United Nations, must rise up to reverse the tides of despair and prevent forebodings from turning into self-fulfilling prophecies. In this noble endeavor, you will find Pakistan always by your side. I thank you.
I wish to thank the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Pakistan for the statement just made. I now give the floor to the distinguished representative of Senegal.